Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we talk about Tresor One, and as you can see in the thumbnail, we are at 4,500 MRR. So Tresor One is still growing, which is great, but we do have some problems in that growth, and it has to do with conversion and churn. And this is what we will talk about today because it's a big topic for me and something that me and the team is focusing on fixing currently. So if you build a product, build a business on the side, it's normal from what I've read that in the beginning, and most of the time this is a year, you try to find product market fit, you experiment with pricing, etc. You get your first customers and all that, and after a year you maybe have an established business, you maybe have an established product that sells already, like we do. But you have a lot of people canceling their subscription again or removing their accounts, deleting their accounts, things like this. And then it's the usual time to get into those. And there are industry average numbers. I will get into all of that. But nonetheless, let me quickly define the states of a user and a customer that they are, that they will go through on Tresor One currently. So you can see the page. I'm in Figma here. And if a user visits our website, Tresor.one, that user is a visitor, right? They will visit. And if we can't convince that visitor to sign up for our service, they will basically bounce, right? This is, you have the bounce metric in Google Analytics or whatever analytics tool you use. So a customer or a visitor, a person comes to your website, they take a look and they leave. So the failure of convincing someone to sign up is basically already here, that they will bounce. If you are convincing that your product provides value and the user or the visitor that came onto your site is one of the target audience, they might sign up, right? Okay, so you converted a visitor to a user. They signed up. Now, once they signed up, they will, check out your product and will poke around and try things. And if they don't like it, they will simply log out and never log in again, or they will even delete their account. So I mark this here as inactive, having an inactive account because it's much more common. But of course, lots of people also just delete their account. So this is when, after sign up, the product fails to, keep the customer, keep the user. The next phase, though, if they are successful, if they are successful, if the product is successful, if they sign up and they like what they see, they think it adds value, they become an active user. The next phase that at Tresor One they will go through is a trial. So they will basically sign up for the premium version, for the pro account that has a monthly cost, but they have a 7-day trial on Tresor One. So they will go into that trial and see the new features, right? They see what they will get if they would pay for it. And if we fail to convince them during that trial that the money is worth it, then they will simply cancel that trial. So they will they have their 7-day trial, and during that trial they will cancel. And some just want to try it and cancel immediately, and they maybe sign up later if they still want it. But anyways, if they cancel during the trial, of course they fall out of it. But if the trial is successful and they go through the trial period, on the 7th day or the 8th day they will be charged and they become a subscriber. This is actually where the first money moves from customer to business, right? So getting a visitor to a subscriber is basically the path of success for Tresor One as a business and a product. And that should, every user should go through if they are successful with the product. If the product is useful to them, then they will go through those stages. But of course, after that, there is a lot more still. If a subscriber is then unhappy with the product after a few months or for whatever reason, they will churn. They will basically cancel their subscription. It's what's called churn. And those red things there are the problematic ones, of course. If a subscriber is successful, the user is successful, and the product adds a lot of value, and there might be bigger plans they can upgrade to. So you could like add a lot more steps after that with upselling and things like this. But these four are currently the major states that a user can go through on Tresor One. And this one here, churn and cancel. These are the ones that are problematic. So, or at least currently for me in Tresor One. All of them are important, but these are the ones we currently look at the most, because think of it this way: you have a bowl that is your customer base, and you get a lot of new customers in, like water's flowing in, but you don't keep them. You have holes in the bottom, and water flows out of that bowl. And this is basically the churn. You add 2 customers and you lose 1. So in order to grow, you need a lot more new customers. You need a lot more visitors that don't bounce, signups that are not becoming inactive, and trials that do not cancel. But it's infinitely, okay, that may be the wrong word, but it's a lot easier to keep your current users than to gain new ones. New ones is always more energy, more money, more time. But keeping the users that you already have is easier and cheaper, and they will probably also, generate a lot more lifetime value for the business. So making existing users happy and preventing them from churning, which is called retention. You keep your users. That is a much higher should be a much higher priority if the churn rate is bad. So a churn rate typically after 1 year for, let's say, a typical business like ours, like Tresor One, is between 10 and 15%, which is bad. It should be around 5 to 10% in a B2C world. In B2B, I think it can even go under 5%. But anyway, so from what I've read on industry averages with tools like Baremetrics and things like that, they measure this across the industry. Between 5 and 10% is something I should aim for, but it's probably higher, and it is higher currently for Tresor One, and it means like you can actually calculate it how much euros per month are going away through churn, and it's too much. It's definitely too much. And we get a lot of new visitors in, so this is not the problem currently. We have a lot of visits, we have a lot of signups, we have a lot of people that go into the trial. But the trial conversion and even the converted subscribers, the rate that they churn is too high. So from going from the trial step to subscribe, that amount is too low. And the people that are subscribing and then churning is too high. So these are the numbers we basically have to go, fix and get better at. That means we will get more of our users into the subscriber base, and from all of the people that subscribe, more will stay subscribed and create value over time for the business. But of course, the requirement is that we create value for them in order that it's worth the money. So there are multiple ways to get to that, and let me touch on a few of them. So the first thing people think about when thinking, okay, someone canceled their account, they closed their account or they canceled their subscription, whatever. We need to find out what it is and then fix it. So maybe there was a feature missing or an import didn't work or whatever it is. But it can also mean they are simply not your target audience. So the first thing to do, or the first thing I do as well, is I look at the sign up and the visit, because if Tresor One currently tracks stocks and ETFs, right? This is what the product is focused at. It's a niche, but it's very focused on that. We want to be very good at that. And anyone that wants to track stocks and ETFs, they should, sign up for Tresor One because it's the best one out there. At least that's the goal. But what if they expect something differently? And this is very important. If they sign up with a different expectation, then they will become inactive, or they go into the trial and they cancel, or they subscribe and expected something different from the pro version, and then they churn. So managing expectation is just as important as fulfilling their needs. And let's take a look at our landing page. This is the landing page of Tresor One, and what stands out already, at least for me now, is I'm saying here dein Vermögen immer im Blick. So in English that's like you have your wealth in sight. You can track your wealth. But this also says you can track cash, you can track crypto, you can track your gold or your real estate. And that's not the case. So with the first sentence here, I may be already overpromising or setting different expectations, and people sign up and then they realize, oh, it's only for stocks, but I want crypto, but I want cash, and I don't have it. So they have an unhappy experience right from the start. At least those people that expected that. So managing expectations and changing this to deine Investments immer im Blick, or deine Aktien and ETFs immer im Blick. So your stocks and your ETFs, you can track them. That would already eliminate people expecting crypto, cash, whatever. Not that we don't want that to support that in the future, but we can change that again once we support it. Currently, we might have too many people coming in that are simply not where the product is not a fit for them. So managing expectations is just as important as then from the people who sign up, fulfilling their expectations that they had. So I can promise the world on the landing page. Everyone signs up, everyone complains that features are not there, and then I can build the features and build the features. But it's very unhealthy in general. It's better to niche down, promise that you are the best at this niche. You promise the things that you can have. They sign up and then they are delighted. They are surprised. They are positively surprised what they find, and then they become loyal customers, etc. The other people don't even sign up because it's not a fit for them, but the people you have, the user base you have, is a happy one, not an unhappy one. And this is already much better from the start to monetize on that, to get people on a paid plan and things like this. And then you can, fulfill their needs, etc. And then you slowly expand. And once you have, for example, crypto support, you add crypto support to it, and then you can advertise it on the landing page. So this is one thing that we will fix. We will change the wording here and make it more clear on the landing page that Tresor One is currently about stocks and ETFs. But of course, there are a lot of features still missing. So even if someone signs up and is okay with stocks and ETFs and tracking that, or certificates, whatever, securities basically, they might still want features that we don't have, and this then is a way for us to fix that, because they are the target audience, but we still do not completely fulfill their needs. They might want different visualizations or other currency support, or some features of the tool, and this is then the stuff we can work on to fix that. So we did summaries of we sent summaries to the people that churn, for example. We are asking people that delete their account why they delete the account. We have a Slack channel, so we get all that feedback. We talk to our users, of course. We see it in the forum, so we have a pretty good understanding now what people need, what they want, what is required, what we currently not have. And we go about that. So, building the features that our target audience needs, but also managing expectations before a sign up, so only our target audience signs up, is just as important. And this is what we will focus on, what we are currently focused on, and what we are building is exactly towards that. And I'm pretty confident that we will get better at it. One thing is also pricing. We increased the price we announced the price increase that will happen end of February, and this is also something that will probably reduce churn and trial cancellation, simply because you eliminate a lot of users that, for them the €5 mark was already too expensive. They just want to try it out. They want it for €1 or whatever. So pricing is a different video. I will do a video on that because it's a very interesting topic and I've read a lot about it. And if you don't want to compete on price and putting loud discounts out all the time and having people argue price, that's not a target audience that I want to build for, right? If I wanted that, I would do a free product and go for advertising or affiliate links or things like that and monetize through that. I want to build a product that is good enough for people to pay for it. I create value for them, or we as a team create value for the users, and the users pay for that value. That's how typical transaction works, right? In an economy, and there is no like whatever tracking or I want to sell different stuff. It's very transparent. Here's a product. If you want it, pay for it, and hopefully it creates more value than you paid for it, right? This is the goal. If you compete on price, like always going down, if you always give out discounts, if you let people like pay €1 per month or whatever, you are basically devaluing your own product, and this is not what I want. This is not what I will do, and I rather have the most expensive solution that people buy because it's awesome, and we have probably then not as much users as other tools have if they are cheaper, but doesn't matter if the business can run on itself, if it's still profitable, and if it's an awesome solution, then that's the case. And I rather build the awesome solution that costs more than the cheapest one that struggles with paying the bills and can compete on quality. But this is a story for a very, very different video. I just wanted to touch on that the pricing itself also has a big impact on trial and so the trial conversion and the churn rate, especially on the B2B side. So that was it. Churn and trial. I hope you got something out of it. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm very, very curious if we can solve that problem, if you can reduce the numbers to our favor. So increase trial conversion, reduce churn. I will for sure let you know. So if you are interested in the outcome, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, and all that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.